This is Moose Julius here with YAG Radio. I have a very, very, very special guest in the building today with me. I have my man Sincere, and we're going to have a conversation today, a small conversation, but it's going to be mainly about the power of music and some parts of history where religion took and twisted the words. So we're going to get right into it. And thank you, man, for coming to join me today.
Oh, yeah, it's my pleasure being here. Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, I appreciate that. So we're going to get right into the first question, man. So what are your thoughts on the negative impact that today's music has on our youth?
The negative impact. So anytime, so I always keep the puzzle in a whole, right? I always keep the puzzle. I never let it separate. So I always go back to when they captured us.
Right.
Right. So they captured us just for that. So I in their code words, so they captured our physical just to get to the mental, to the mind, and control the mind. And for me, for what I understand, I see it, their code words was you got to go through Jesus to get to God. Jesus represents the physical and God the mind that controls the physical.
Right.
So and that's what I see they did. So, you know, that's the issues there. And I'm proud and I'm happy to see a lot of our people rising up against you know, so it's a situation with Kanye and Kyrie.
Right.
See, what they didn't understand, it's not about Kyrie or Kanye. The people starting to see what's going on. Right. You got Muslims, you got Christians, you got black, all kind of black people coming together on this one cause. You know, coming together. We can't come together for nothing, but we coming together. It don't matter your religions or whatever. We coming together saying, "Well, this is enough." We see what's going on. You know, so I'm proud to see that people is waking up and seeing that, you know, how this music has gotten into our communities. You know, I have these conversations with, you know, even that Jew Harry, I forget, Rosenbaum. Yeah, I had a conversation with him, you know, and I don't let him slip away. You know, I just let him know because you try to say certain things, but your people was pushing this music. You know, they always say you don't have to buy it. Our people never bought into it. So that's what people don't understand. We never bought into this BS music they call rap. It was the white kids in the suburbs that made rap popular and made these artists rich. Black people did not make not one of them rich or famous. They invaded through our hoods, through the radio stations owned by these same Jews that's owning these you know, the record labels. So they invaded through the airwaves. That's how they got into our hood. And it went on from there. So that's how I feel about the music today. I feel that, you know, it's their job to portray us other than who we are. And and that's what they're doing, you know.
I got you. So that brings me into my second question. That was how do you feel about hip hop today being referred to as our culture?
I sent Jalen Rose something on that message because he keep on saying he represent the culture, and it pretty much is only celebrities saying that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the agenda that these same people that's controlling them want them to push. This is not a culture, you know. So hip hop for me, hip hop is a way of life. We are hip hop. Hip hop is you know, your rhythm in tune with the earth.
Right.
How we talk, how we walk, if you read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth back then, they were spitting. It was all spitting hip hop, you know, so that's just who we are.
Right.
That's why they had to change it from hip hop to rap and have them only rap about things that belong on a criminal rap sheet.
Right.
So there we have it right there in front of you. So culture, no, you know, they got to stop playing. You know, it's just too weak to accept. You know, the celebrities know that this is not our culture. I don't even know why they call it a culture.
Right, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like a culture is like an intellectual achievement of a group, and this is not showing anything intellectual at all.
So
I'm like,
you understand? And they pushing a whole somebody else's agenda, culture. You know, and you know, I guess everybody can't go because I don't see why they can't see it, but I know they are controlled.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I can see. I say, okay, wait. We don't have to. We gotta have their back. We know that they can't speak. They can't talk. But it's way more of us that's not celebrities than it is that's who are celebrities.
Right.
So
And
that's what
it's
the
just that
power is.
our like the people are so caught up in celebrity. Once they, I mean, they just take everything that celebrities do for. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, they just buy into everything they say, everything that they do, and they just like put all their energy and time into these celebrities. I really don't understand it sometimes. I'm like, I don't see how they got this much power and control over people's minds. It's crazy.
Well, you know, you know, you got to put together how to create a society, an evil society. We're creating a society, especially if you're not us, right? So we're not gonna. They can't program us with their words. We're not gonna listen. We're not feeling them. We're not on the same wavelength. We, you know, their voices, everything sound. So they have to create a thing called celebrities and use us, and then blow that celebrity up. I'm controlling celebrities, so it's through your people. I'm controlling you, and your people are still getting what I want them to hear. I don't want you to say anything other than I want you. That's the only reason why I create celebrities, because I can't control your people, but I can control your people through you. I only need a handful of celebrities, you know. So you know that's that. You know, I understand it what they did. You know.
Oh yeah, most definitely,
Mm-hmm.
man.
But
So
it's
that
no.
brings me into the third question. All right, can I get your input on how this popular term that the youth are using now with the ops is opposition, and I mean, they're basically calling yourselves enemies. And I just want to get your insight on that.
Well, when I think about ops, I just think about that game. It wasn't it a game. Ain't that where it came from?
Right. Oh yeah.
You understand? So it's still the same thing. You know, it's still programming our people into behaving other than ourselves.
Right.
You remember, these people are taking our places. They trying to say they us. So then they got to make us act like other than ourselves. You know, they got to make us do videos of us talking about crazy and acting crazy so they can show the world. That's all the videos for, to show the world that these people don't need to be here. So
Right.
it's character assassination. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Most definitely. I mean, and it's just like there's just you on another side of town, and they're just fighting against each other, just basically knocking each other off, man. And it's just crazy now how much they love this. They really really love it, and they buy into it. So crazy.
You know, that's why, you know, I respect you, and you know, I wanted to come on here because, you know, I know a lot of these people, and I know a lot of people came home, and the higher bloods and all this, and they came home, and it was all a setup with Queen Flip and all these people, you know, pushing that same agenda, you know, and then, but you know, we're here to help the kids. You can't help the kids, you know, the kids in trouble. You can't help them, but you can show them how to get in trouble, and you telling the whole story. You're telling everything. You call yourself these so-called Bloods and Crips or whoever, you know what I mean? And you're telling the whole story, and you're creating a whole race of these kids you see today.
Right.
And you can't help them. You can't help them. I asked them, I speak to a lot. Look, they're in trouble. They need your help. Go speak to them. You understand? So you only can help them get into trouble. That's the only what they allow them to do.
Right. I definitely understand that totally.
Yeah, I commend people like you that, you know, have these shows and, you know.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I definitely want to do more. I'm going to start bringing in more different ideas and more different platforms for people to speak, because it's always good to hear. Like, it's certain things that you say, like with the rap sheet and the rap and criminal rap sheet. I've never heard it put that way, and that's something that's already in my head. So I appreciate you know your input on different things too as well.
Thank you.
All right,
and
so
you know, same way we all have something to say, so we all have something to listen to. You know.
Right. Most definitely, man. All right, so just crossing over into the second part of the conversation, what is an example of from us having a conversation earlier about what you were saying about the Bible, things taken from ancient history and twisted and put into the Bible? Just an example of something of that.
Yeah, for me, it's a beautiful thing for me to be able to see. You know, it's like so much it took from it. You know, so the story. I don't understand how people can see the ancient story that have been told are still here to see today. If it's not, then it's not real. It's not true, right? So all this stories, nature, that's God's voice. Nature, action is the universal language. Right. If you know the language of all things, I mean, if you know the action of all things, you will know the language of all things. You know when a dog don't like, he start growling. You know a snake. You know the language of all things.
Right.
So the sun, for instance, you understand? So we know that's in the Bible. They say, if you can't accept my son, and then you can't accept me. I was on the train one time, and this guy fanatic, Christian fanatic, was, they was talking, and he said that to me. He said, "If you can't accept my son, you can't accept me." He wasn't really talking to me,
Right.
but I looked up, and when he looked at me, he already was looking like, "Oh, he's going to attack me," because So I just looked at him. I said, "You know what, man?" I said, "You're right." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "If you can't accept my son, you can't accept me." I could show and prove that there's a people here that can't accept the son. I could show and prove that all day, every day. So that's when I put together, I'm a writer, I write music and I do all that, but these things come to me. So I put together that saying, I could see the whole story just by looking at nature. I could see everything that happened. If you want to know what happened, you can put the trees back up in your mental. You can see the jungle will tell you the whole story, what happened. They cut down the tree. So now I can see when God created his first son, S-U-N, he said, "Go shine your light on the world." He said, "Go shine your light on my chosen ones, and they will all know that you're my oldest son. And for those who don't, each day that they awaken, they will see that if you can't accept my son, then you can't accept me."
Right.
So I know where they got it from in the book.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It's so much, even, so that's why I find things, and then I say, okay, I don't go disagree with what they say, but I find the truth of what they're saying.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because always they got it from us.
Yeah, and we don't want to put that energy into disagreeing with someone. Like,
no.
Even if I've learned that on my own, because I used to actually love, like, when I first got into it, I would just want to just go back and forth all day long. But I'm not putting my energy into that anymore. I'm putting my energy into just, I take what you're saying. I can hear what you're saying, but I want to hear what I was looking to see what I see out of it.
Right. If it could add on to what I already know. Right. You understand? So you have to have an open ear for that. And it's so much. I mean, it's the like I said, in the Bible where it says must go through Jesus to get to God. Mm-hmm. I can show and prove that they had to grab the physical to get to the mind.
Right.
That's what they did to us. And what else again? I mean, what we got here? Most of that in the Bible, somebody could bring up pretty much most of that Bible, and I could show you where they got it from.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Just with what it's talking about Moses, it said Moses was learned from all the Egyptians. And that's the ancient, it's telling you that's the anciency that's saying that he was learned and filled with the wisdom from the ancient Egyptians. It says that right in the Bible, but nobody will explain that in the church and tell you what that means. They're not going to tell you that. And that's bringing me into the last question I had. How do you think religion keeps us from finding out who we really are?
Because that's what, so it was created for that, you know what I mean, to find and so for me, my higher self, everything is within. If I'm going looking for something, if I'm looking for the truth, I'm going within. I understand that my physical is not who I am.
Right.
I understand that there's a source that controls my physical. I understand that the part that could think about somebody and they pop up, or they might call me or just pop up, that's who I am. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I understand all that. So I understand when they say that the people turn their backs on God, right? You are the watcher over you. So we have to learn to separate ourselves so we can watch over ourselves and see what we're doing. You'll move way better, way causally if you do that.
Being the shepherd, that's why Jesus was the shepherd.
You understand? Exactly. Exactly. So my spirit and the people, so the physical is the slave. The mind is the master. But through habits, they gave us habits, the physical became the master. So the physical don't need the mind, it's going to do it every day, automatic off of the habits.
Right.
Why have you betrayed me? My physical. So I have to give the power back over to my God.
Right.
And they took the whole story and put it all over. You understand what I'm saying? So you have every story and everything that was created on this earth come from you. I don't care if they make an air conditioner, they have to emulate after you. I don't care whatever they make, they have to emulate over how you're made.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I don't really talk about things that we could debate. Mm-hmm. I just told you about the sun. I'm going to tell you about nature. I'm going to tell you about, if you want to know who God's chosen ones are, I'll tell you about the sun. And I'm going to tell you the rhythm that we have with the earth. I say our vocals have the presence and the power to move people, places, and things. That's why they use us. So if you want to look and know who the chosen ones are, it's not hard to find. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Our vocals got the vibration of the universe. Our physical got the in tune with the earth. We're in tune with the sun. And I'll ask anybody, don't you have to be in tune with the source from which you come from? Now we could go from there. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do the math. Don't you have to be in tune with the science? You can bring me any of their scientists. That's why I'm gonna hit them up, and they ain't gonna know where I'm going with it. Don't you? They gonna automatically say, yeah. I'm gonna say, so why aren't they in tune with the earth? Why they ain't not in tune with the sun? Why aren't they in tune with the universe?
That's deep, man. That's real. That's real. A lot of people don't want to talk about that.
And then you have no, they're not. I mean, again, I don't brag about, but I'm just grateful. Right. Then you have two creations in the Bible. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't never hear the Hebrew is like nobody talk about this stuff. Certain things they ain't gonna talk about. You have two creations in the Bible. You keep on saying that's your brother. That's it. He don't move with your rhythm, don't do nothing with your rhythm. But you have two creations in the Bible. It says God stopped on the seventh day, he created he and her. And then down and a couple of chapters down it says he created man from the woman from the river man. Right. That's two creations right there. Mm-hmm. in one verse in the Genesis.
People they definitely, anything that's too spiritual, they have to just speak to where they can just read it and say it means exactly what they said. That's all they can do.
You understand? So right. So now you're forsaking me. Just because God is a jealous God.
Right.
If you don't pay attention, you could close your eyes and find the truth. Come to me, close your eyes, find the truth. Did a man die and come back to life 3 days? Close your eyes. Can you see that? No. So why would you go against me?
Right.
You understand? You cannot go against yourself and win. So yes, the churches, religious, and everything is to again all of them. They all on the same page. All of it, religious, music, all this. They all on the same page. They're all same job. And I laugh at them. I say, ain't y'all tired? Can't y'all be? Y'all have to be tired spending all this energy, all this time just to keep away from who we are.
Right. I mean, just all around it. And they think they're the ones the closest to it, and they're the furthest away from it.
But they scared to death of you because they understand your powers. They understand who you connected to. You understand? Yeah. It's deep, man. It's just so deep, man. It's a beautiful.
Right. I appreciate you, man. We got to wrap this up for the radio for part one, man. I appreciate you coming through. You definitely welcome back anytime, man. And can we shout out your how my listeners can reach out to you your YouTube or social medias?
Oh yeah, I'm on S-Dub Entertainment. I'm on IG, saying everywhere, S-Dub Entertainment.
All right. I appreciate you, man, for stopping by. We're going to wrap it up. This is Most Julius with YAG Radio.